So this week I've been making these floating temple type scenes like this. And so yesterday I recorded myself just creating this one from start to finish. I didn't really feel like doing much modeling, so I reused a lot of the pieces that I made in my other video called Creating Temple Assets in Blender. I think that's what it's called. I gave away a free pack in that one, so I can just leave a link to that in the description if you want to just download that. But if you want to see how I made it, you can go and watch that video. But yeah, if you want to see me just make this render here, keep watching. You can just, see me create this from scratch. Let me start by dragging in some of the pieces from this render I just made. So I finished this yesterday and I saved a few of these pieces, like some of the towers and stuff in here. I don't want to do much modeling today. I don't feel like it, so I'm going to use a bunch of pieces that I've already made because it already comes with a texture. I'm not sure if I want to use this as like the main piece, but I probably will use it in here. I might even just use the texture it came with because there is this kind of whole setup going on here. But let me select the camera. The cursor, the 3D cursor, is still in the very middle of the world, and I'm just going to rotate it 45 degrees, maybe negative 45 degrees, because I just kind of want to work from this side right here. It doesn't really matter which way you rotate it, but I feel like just rotating it this way is going to be easier for me to work with, just the direction things are moving in. So I want like a empty space in the middle, and then I want, I don't know if it's going to be like waterfalls or like fountains kind of all converging in the center and then all falling down into like empty space below. Because like I said, I want this to be like really high up in the sky. So let me try and do this. I'm not even going to worry about doing anything properly. I'm literally just blocking it out with basic cubes just to get a sense of the layout of the thing that I'm about to make. So I want like this kind of thing. Maybe it'd be cool to have like some, just drag in one of these, some like square things on the side like this, like in between here. I don't know how this stuff is going to connect, but something like this. And it's going to be tricky to have something blocking the camera view here like this, so I'll see what I can do about that. But maybe it can be like this, and then the camera can kind of let's do a 24 millimeter lens. Start with that. The lighting is not good at all right now, but I'll fix that later. And then let's take this. Now with the camera, I want it to feel like it was taken, like a picture was taken from somebody standing in this place. So I don't want to have it like too high up, but I still want to be able to see what's going on. So I don't know, something like that. 24 might be too zoomed in. Maybe I could go like 20. I think that might be cool. Have it a bit like kind of wide angle. And let's see, these things, I think it'd be cool to have like kind of canal or like a kind of somewhere for like this water to be flowing. So I'll just kind of model a little thing really quick. Here, let's just take this and this. Just needs to be, a block out. I'm basically blueprinting what I'm going to make right now, so I'm not worried about quality at all at the moment, but just multiple layers of kind of the same thing. And then maybe I can have like water coming down and like flowing off of this one and landing onto the one below. That might be cool. So let's, maybe these kind of things can like, these kind of things can be like in the corner here. This can go like here. Now I want to be careful because I don't want to have the architecture like an exact copy of the render that I just made. Here, like we just take some pillars and overlap them with this, and maybe that will help me. That'll just kind of hide the fact that it's the same geometry I brought in from yesterday, but maybe it doesn't need it. I think what I want to do is actually get rid of this thing on top. This isn't the right vibe for this, I think. And it's already selected, so that's nice. We'll just deselect all this other stuff below it. And then, oops, just one more thing there. Yeah, this like Indian style piece at the top, I think is going to be not the right vibe. So I'm just going to separate that by selection. This just doesn't look right for this scene, I think. And then that will help me also switch up the geometry so it's not the exact same as yesterday. And we'll just have something else here for now. Okay, I'll come back to that later. I'll just leave it there for now. I need to figure out, like I said, the the overall vibe and the overall layout of everything. So let me do that. Also, I think there's like a snow texture on here. Yeah, this is not supposed to be in here. This is supposed to be running straight out. There we go. Maybe these can be thinner and smaller. And, ooh. Just to kind of experiment before everything clicks. Because right now I'm just kind of messing around with things. Oh, and I had the screen cut off this entire time. Sorry, I'm recording on an ultra wide monitor, so sometimes I forget to like. Sometimes I forget you can't actually see the entire screen, but there we go. Should be fixed now. Anyways, I want a picture of a waterfall. This is like a pretty famous waterfall in Iceland, I believe. Anyways, I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna use this as a texture for some water flowing around in my image. So let's do that right now. Let's add a plane. Just pull that right here, and then we're just gonna take this edge right here, and I'll do this in wireframe so I can actually you can't really see that. So I'm just gonna pull this. I guess what I could have done is actually extrude it straight down and then take this edge and bevel it. If I just apply scale, and just gonna move this here, bevel. That's probably a better way to do it. Okay, so anyways, let's unwrap this and go to the UV editor, and then take that waterfall image that I was just showing, this right here, drop it into the shader editor, run it into the, okay, here's the setup I'm going to use. I want some translucency, but the best way to do that is, I think the best way for this shader, I could just use a translucent only, but I think what I'll do is take a translucent and add it, use an add shader, add it to the principled, and then take a transparent and then mix it with that. So after it's added, so it's principled, translucent, those get added together. That output gets mixed with a transparent. So I have just, this factor control is just a control between transparent, invisible, and what it was before. And I'm just going to use the waterfall image as the mix factor. So essentially a mask telling it which parts are transparent, which parts are not. And I think I have to flip this around. Looks like I need a color ramp. So color ramp, oops, not that. Color ramp into the mix factor, and let's just crank this. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, cool. In fact, I might bring that in right now. So let's go here, water, bring that in. It's going to be just over the entire thing, but I'll just quickly scale this down and just kind of slot this into place right here. And then hopefully if I layer these two things together, it'll look kind of convincing. The tricky part is going to be this edge. I don't really know how I'm going to do that, but we'll find a way. So when I was picturing this, I was picturing it much more grand and beautiful than this like mess that I have here right now. But it's okay, you know, it's not going to look good straight away. It's going to take work to get there. So I just got to push through. Let me try an environment texture, like an HDRI. Let's try just running that in here. Load up. That's kind of cool right there. Let's do this. Let's take these things here. And let's put cursor to world origin. And then Alt D, rotate 90, Shift R to repeat last action, Shift R again to repeat last action. Why did that not work? There we go. Okay, so there we're kind of getting closer to my idea of like beautiful waterfalls everywhere and happiness and fantasticness. But we're still kind of far away. So let's see. Maybe a sky background would help because the background is a bit trash right now. So let's take a sky, just kind of copy the rotation of the camera, push this back here, scale it up, just put it way back in the background. The camera view distance, like the render distance, if you will, needs to be increased to like 10,000 meters, or not 10,000, but more than 100 meters. 10,000 is a bit overkill, but should be fine. Let's make a new thing right here, and let me go to my skies pack. You go in here. There we go. run it to the base color and the emission, and take the specular down. Okay, so that's actually a lot nicer. That helped a lot. Honestly, I'll just leave it how it is. But it looks good, so I'm going to keep it how it is. So it's fine, you know? Nice. That helped tremendously, actually. Not tremendously, but it helped a decently good amount. So that's going to be cool. This water looks horrible here, but again, I'll fix it later. The main thing is let's get the rest of this environment sorted out. So let's get some more objects. Like I said, I don't really feel like modeling too much because I just can't be bothered right now. I have so many finished pieces in here that I can just drop in. So I'm not too worried about doing much modeling. But like I said, if you do want to see me model, I do have a video just modeling all this stuff right here and how I do that. And it's pretty easy to follow. You might be surprised actually how simple my modeling techniques actually are. Anyways, let me take this. I wonder what it would look like if I have like archways and stuff in here. So let's just drop one of these pieces I've made in here. Yeah, like that. Might be nice right there. It's, again, cursor, Alt-D, rotate 90. There's better ways to like get four-way symmetry probably, but that's just how I'm going to do it in here. I think it might need some square type situation happening in the middle. So let's put a cube right here. Just do some, I guess I'll do some basic modeling where I have like, in this other temple one I was showing here, this one, I like these square kind of things here. So maybe I'll try and do that. And then, I don't know, like 10 of these, or 11, 12, I don't know. And then put the same material on that, apply scale, unwrap with the cube project, boom. I don't like this. Let's delete that shit. And maybe let's just bring this thing in. I like that. Even though it's the same geometry as I had yesterday, I do like it, so I'm going to leave it there. I think let's just duplicate this thing over again. I like this. I do actually like this Indian style temple architecture that's going on here. Let's bring this over here. Let's also turn on the light paths, turn on more volumetric bounces and reflective and refractive caustics, and we could actually just do full global illumination. It's gonna look the same probably. I'll just have it on just in case. What else should I do to make this good? That's nice, actually. I like that. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Let's delete this one. Delete this. Bring this over. Just line up the corners. What the hell's going on here? Sometimes that happens where everything just goes black in the viewport. I'm not really sure why that happens, but if you just go back to solid view and then go back to rendered, it should fix it. Okay, that's cool. But this is like a little bit big. Okay. I need to figure out this water. I think I might have made too much of a mess to the point where it's kind of hard to fix now. So let's see if I can kind of clean this up. Oh, that's nice there. Kind of not directly in the middle. Yeah, I like that actually. Okay, that's a lot nicer. Let's stick with that. Maybe this should be like up here inside the walls of this thing. Like that might be kind of cool in here. Like just kind of chuck that right there. Yeah, I like that right there. And then, oh, this is going to be a tight fit, but I think I can just kind of, again, brute force this in here like that. That works, sort of. And maybe this can just kind of go like there. That's nice there, but then also now there's arches inside the wall, but then there's arches outside the wall, so it kind of doesn't really make that much sense. So I should probably put it inside the temple here. Like that probably makes more sense. Okay, I'm going to take this again and just rotate it 90 degrees, scale it by -1 on the Y, or the X axis rather, and then just kind of force this to fit somewhere in here as well. Maybe I could just use one of these again. Is there anything? Okay. Let's take this chunk. Parent again, Control P, K. And then, yeah, just take all this, duplicate, and just kind of spin it over here. Okay. Now, the water is kind of still a problem. So, how do I fix this? Like, this looks stupid, you know? Having the water, like, fully white just along there. That's, what is that, you know? Let's maybe delete that, or Maybe I can somehow get the texture to kind of fade out along here. Like, let's pull this way. Maybe just pull it to here, and then maybe I can kind of do this. Maybe, just maybe, I can like somehow get this to kind of fall off like a gradient, kind of, or something like. Let's turn off correct face attributes and just kind of pull this way a lot, and then just kind of find a little thing on the text, like, oh yeah, that's yeah. And then let's take this, and the texture on this is going to be a bit messed up. Yeah, okay, so scale down. Let's just quickly, jankily fix this by scaling up this. Yeah, that's okay. And then let's just see what that looks like. Now this is too high. Let's just take this down to like there or something. Yeah. So yeah, this. What if? Let's try a different camera angle because I don't like this. So let's go like 16 millimeters. Okay, we're getting somewhere, you know? We're getting somewhere. Something I did in my last render was just use World Creator and create mountains down there. But you couldn't even see it. Like, you couldn't even tell that was there. But it did look kind of cool, so let me do that. Let me just append some mountains from the last project I did. Probably this one. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I can do a full video on, like, how I make mountains like this in World Creator. Because there's not that many good tutorials on how to actually use World Creator and make it look good in Blender. But I think this will just be an easy fix for right now. Okay, the sky should be a little bit further back, scaled up. And then this sky can just kind of be doing its thing down here. Maybe just duplicate that over here. That's pretty dope, actually. I like that a lot. And we could have some like going off into the distance too, even. Like it's barely visible here, so it doesn't need to be that perfect, but just, you know, just something. And I feel like this middle thing is just, it's so light and feathery and not sturdy. So let's see if I can fix that. Let's grab one of these. This thing right here, maybe? And then I'll just kind of shrink it down. Yeah, nice square one. And we'll just kind of do that. And let's just add a bunch of these throughout here. Force these into place. So maybe the solution is, let's get rid of these. Hide this, hide this. I like these pillars though, so let's keep these. We could do this right here. Whoops. Shift S, cursor to origin. Alt D R Z 90 on one action. Shift R to repeat last action. Cool. That's fine. You know, that's okay. What about some trees? That might be nice to have like some floating, or not floating, but like some trees that just are in here. Just kind of around. Maybe some like kind of coming out of this thing. I don't want it to be a distraction where it's like getting in the way. I just want it to be complementing what we have here already, you know? So just kind of nicely placed throughout here. Maybe let's get some other types in here. Like, But yeah, if I have some here, it's floating obviously, but it looks like it makes sense to be there. Like it's not a problem. It looks like there's more, kind of like hinting at the idea that there's some more stuff happening in the foreground than is actually there, which is a good thing. And I wonder if the panoramic lens would look cool here. You could try that. Oh, these need to be parented to this guy too. So it's like this, whoops, this, what the hell? And this guy parent to that middle empty. Just because I want to be able to quickly and easily control the scale of all this stuff here. And it looks a bit better actually bringing that out a little bit. Let me make sure this is everything here. Yeah. That's cool too though. Okay, so here's the finished result. I actually went back and did 2 shots. So this is the one that you would have seen before. I guess there'll be like a sped up section of the video of me just moving stuff around, but that's all it was. I went from this, went back into the blend file. I wasn't really happy with this fully, and then I just kind of moved the objects that were there already around, duplicated some things here and there, just kind of space it out a bit more. Pretty much just, yeah, moving the objects that were already there. And I just re-rendered it, and then, yeah, here's what this looks like straight out of Blender. So it looks kind of cool already. It could use a bit more contrast, like I added. I might have gone a bit overkill with that, so we'll see if that changes, but yeah, so this is straight out of Blender, and then I just did some basic adjustments, added a little bit of glow. This is basically, you can do that with the glare node in Blender. Got some particles. You can't even really see it unless you zoom way in. But the main thing is, again, usually, as I always say, the camera raw filter makes a big difference, as you can see. And then after that, it was just a little bit more glow, color lookup table, just adding a bit more contrast in a cool way. And then a curves layer on top of that, which is just doing this kind of S curve a little bit, fading the blacks a little bit, and then just adding a bit of contrast. So I don't know. I might have gone a bit overkill with the contrast on this one. We'll see. I need to take a break and kind of reassess this in a few hours. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see ya.